is ice becoming so popular in Hampton Roads? Telling Your Side talks to the experts and a user who's trying to kick the habit before it destroys his life.
You miss out on everything. You miss out on life.
Ice in Hampton Roads, Monday at 5 and 6 on Wavy News 10.
Dad, if I'm going to take this thing, I got to lose this headache fast. Got any goodies handy?
Kyle, I told you he's going on the goodies in the last pit, but do you listen to me?
Dad, I'm trying to race here. Can you spare me the lecture?
Because it's a powder, goodies dissolves faster than tablets, so it gets to work fast.
Hey,
Wait! You got some dirt on your visor.
Dad, you're embarrassing me.
Goodies, it's just plain fast.
Property held prisoner by a local repair shop, Tuesday at 5 and 6.
The past, the present, and for the next decade, America's Olympic network is NBC. This is the All-State NBC Sports Update.
Daytona International Speedway, not only the site of the beginning of the 2004 NASCAR season, but the scene of the sport's crown jewel, the Daytona 500. Hi, everybody. Dan Hicks in New York. We'll send you out to Daytona, where President Bush will give the famous command, "Gentlemen, start your engines." And being from the state of Texas, the president will appreciate what's coming up after the race. It is bull riding from Anaheim here on NBC. But at this moment, the biggest story in sports continues to be the apparent Major League Baseball trade, which would send American League MVP Alex Rodriguez to the New York Yankees in exchange for second baseman Alfonso Soriano and a player to be determined. Here is the latest. The Rangers and the Yankees have agreed in principle to the deal, but the commissioner's office and the players' union must approve it. The trade is expected to be finalized in the next day or two. A-Rod, who played shortstop for the Texas Rangers the last 2 seasons, is expected to move to third base with the Yankees. It sets up an intriguing situation in the New York infield because Yankee captain Derek Jeter has been the mainstay at shortstop for 9 years. Apparently, Rodriguez has agreed to make the switch, clearing the way for the deal. Turning to golf, it's been 8 years since John Daly won a golf tournament, and that tournament was the 1995 British Open. He's got a great chance today to get his career back on track at Torrey Pines. Here's how Daly ended his round yesterday after a laser 2-iron to the par 5 18th and 2. Daly for eagle, a third round 68. He's got a 1-shot lead over Stewart Sink and his first 54-hole lead in 10 years on the PGA Tour. We'll see you a little bit later on. In the meantime, enjoy the race.
This has been the All-State NBC Sports Update. You're in good hands with All-State.
This is the Discover Card Countdown to Green as we get ready to go racing.
The sports world revolves around tradition, unforgettable moments at majestic venues. Today, the sports world turns its attention to this place, Daytona. 200,000 fans are here. They have come to feel the thunder, to root for the stars, to salute the winner. They have come to see their racing heroes and be a part of history. It all began on Daytona Beach more than 50 years ago.
The fact that it all started there is pretty amazing. And you look at some of those shots and you know, they're nuts. I mean, especially when high tide came in.
I can't imagine what it was like to race back then. You'd see guys barrel off into the corner and into these big old ruts and slam into about 30 parked cars that have already crashed up in that corner.
Today, there are black and white reminders of the start of something small and simple. Daring drivers crossing a line in the sand.
Every generation has people that you look back on and think, what the hell were they doing?
Today, a new line is drawn. The sport of NASCAR racing is bigger, bolder, more colorful and competitive than ever before. But the promise and the principle remain the same.
You beat the best at their best on the biggest stage.
Dale Earnhardt in his 20th try.
The biggest motivator for me is what's happened here in the past.
February means renewed excitement and another chance for each challenger. But never before have things looked quite like this.
When I drive through the tunnel in February, I know then that we're not just starting a new season. This is another opportunity to try to win another Daytona 500.
One thing that has not changed The year's most magnificent moment is just 500 miles away.
Michael Waltrip is going to win.
The checkered flag is more a load off your shoulders. And I've always been, thank goodness, I don't have to go another lap. I don't know if I could have done it another lap.
Earnhardt was so close here for so many years and won all the other races here, but just missed the Daytona 500. Obviously, you could see in his eyes when he won, it was way different than, most other races that he won.
There's been times when I've said, boys, my race, done deal. And I get past,
I finished second in the Daytona 500 once, and I don't even remember when that was. But I can tell you if I'd have won it, I'd know when that was.
It was all built on a foundation of sand. Today, the pageantry, patriotism, pride, and power of the great American race returns.
All the time and all the energy is put into this one race.
Prestige of the Daytona 500 is just a race everybody wants to win.
Only a select few drivers that win that championship, and there's only a select few that win the 500, and it's harder to win the 500.
Jimmie Johnson following race leader Michael Waltrip.
There isn't an almost or close. It's just wins. The pressure is just unbelievable. It's probably the only race all year long that I actually get butterflies before the race starts.
The Daytona 500, where the only colors that really matter are still black and white. That has eluded him. NBC Sports presents the 46th running of the Daytona 500, live from Daytona Beach, Florida. It's just a 5-mile drive from the beach up International Speedway Boulevard to this overwhelming 2.5-mile oval. There are enough seats for 170,000 fans. The infield is an oversized welcome mat that catches the overflow. In the garage, final preparations all but completed. And on pit road, the power of the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series sits silent, poised to be unleashed by a single command. History is waiting. Hello, everybody. The NBC Race family welcomes you to the Daytona 500 and the start of the 2004 Nextel Cup season. I'm Bill Weber. This is racing's biggest day at NASCAR's most famous track. It is a grueling 500-mile charge up racing's answer to Heartbreak Hill. Win the Daytona 500, everyone remembers it. Finish second in the Daytona 500, only you remember it. 1 week ago today, Greg Biffle, in his 43rd attempt, won his first pole. But yesterday afternoon, his team decided to make an engine change. By rule, Biffle's car will now have to start at the rear of the field. That means the entire inside line moves up one spot. That means Dale Earnhardt Jr. will lead this field in the Daytona 500 to the green flag. That leads us to Matt Yoakum.
Bill, it took an extra week, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. is back on the front row for the second straight Daytona 500. And, Junior, everyone in the garage feels like you are the guy to beat. Do you feel the same?
Well, I wish I had $100 for every time I've heard that this week. I got a great car, and I can win the race. If that makes me the favorite, I guess so. But there's a lot of guys out there that are fast, and these cars seem like they're different every day, even if you don't work on them. So we'll just hopefully it's buckled down. Everything's ready to go today.
Now, your dad took 20 years to win the Great American Race. You're in your 5th. Can you imagine what it would mean to you to win this, because you know how much it meant to him?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was awesome, when he won. And after everything he'd been through, come so close so many times. I've seen this race lost on the last lap so many times, more than I've seen it won on the last lap. So it just, hopefully we're in the right place at the right time. And if I win this race, I don't know if the power will ever stop.
Junior's very passionate about NASCAR history. A win today, he'll put the Earnhardts in the record book as the third father-son combo to win the Great American Race. To Marty Snyder.
Well, Matt, when you talk about the history of the Daytona 500, the name Jarrett will eventually come up. Dale Jarrett, a 3-time winner of this race. Give us a sense of what it means to a driver to win this race, Dale.
Well, it's almost hard to put into words, Marty. It means so much. This is our biggest event. Everybody's here to see it and be a part of it. It does so much for a driver's career. It's just unbelievable. It's been 4 years since I've been in that victory lane and know exactly what goes along with it, but I'd love to see that again. And I have this overwhelming feeling that Robert Yates Racing is going to be in there, whether it's myself or my teammate Elliott Sadler.
It's been a great weekend for Robert Yates Racing. Dale Jarrett winning the Bud Shootout. This man, Elliott Sadler, winning the Twin 125s on Thursday. We saw the absolute sheer joy on your face Thursday when you won that race. What would it mean to you, and how would it feel to win the Daytona 500?
Hard to put in words, I guess. My teammate reminded me that Thursday night that you think that was something you wait if you win the race Sunday, and he's been able to do it 3 times, so I know if I'm around him somewhere today, I ought to try to push him and help each other as much as we can, because he knows how to get himself to the front. So they've given us great race cars. Rob and the guys have given us both some very fast race cars for today. We just got to take care of them, be in the right line at the right time, and see what happens. But it's very exciting. I got pretty much the same feeling he's got, and I don't care if it's him or I, as long as the whole team gets to go and enjoy it. That's all that matters right now to us.
Virginia's Elliott Sadler, North Carolina's Dale Jarrett will try to give Robert Yates his 4th Daytona 500 win. Dave Burns.
Well, Marty, a story that we've been following all week is the trouble that some teams have been having with the new right side tires that Goodyear, the only supplier of tires to the series, first tested and then manufactured for this Daytona 500. The tire is a different feel for the drivers, and in some case the right front tire has worn severely. This could cause a big wreck, obviously, if the right front blows out, the kind of wreck at Daytona that everyone fears. That has put competitors on edge, and it caused Robbie Gordon to vent his frustrations on Thursday.
These tires, I hate to say this, but they're junk, and they're junk because this is what NASCAR wanted, not because Goodyear built a bad tire. I just don't know. I just don't know if we have enough grip to run, 3 wide and do the things we know to do.
Now, both Goodyear and NASCAR believe that the right side tires are sound. And in fact, some teams have had absolutely no trouble with the right side tires. Or if they had trouble, they've corrected those problems. Robbie Gordon's team, in fact, falls into that latter category. I spoke with them this morning. No trouble expected on their car. But that's been the game within the game this week, to tune your car's chassis and in some cases its body to get the benefit out of these new tires. That accomplished, win the Daytona 500 with the fastest car. Last year, Michael Waltrip had the fastest car. He's the defending Daytona 500 champion. And this morning, our cameras caught up with him outside his motorhome.
Morning.
Well, you look good.
Well, I got that going for me.
You got that going for you, yeah.
Could you swing me?
Yeah.
Swing you where?
How far?
All the way.
This is a verse of a song Buffy and I love to sing in church, so that's going to be on the dash of the old Napa Chevy.
Two-time winner of the Daytona 500, driver of the Napa Chevrolet, Mr. Michael Waltrip.
Thank you. Good luck, Mike.
Where are you going?
Your feeling in a race car going at 200 miles an hour.
You're so busy processing information that you don't have time to think about, wow, I'm going 200.
What do you think of the tires, Mike?
The tires are great.
And at 11:30 this morning, Michael and the other 42 drivers and their crew chiefs in the drivers' meeting with final instructions for today's Daytona 500. And it's a pleasure to welcome the 2-time Daytona 500 winner, Michael Waltrip, to the wagon. You should be worn out already. Hospitality, drivers' meeting, all those questions, you all set to go?
It's all what leads you up to the race, Bill. We do this week in and week out. The first race of the year is our biggest race, and so everybody's had a bit of withdrawals from competition. The fans and the sponsors, they all want a part of you, and so I enjoy it. I'm thankful that we have so many wonderful sponsors that help us fund our team so that we can bring cars like we have to Daytona the last 2 or 3 years.
Speaking of cars, how's your car? How are your tires?
My car is great. Every practice session, leading up to the 125, we struggled with the tires too, but it was just a matter of getting an understanding of them. I've been coming down here a long time. Tire wear has always been an issue at Daytona leading up to the race, but then after the Busch race and you run the 125s, more and more rubber gets on the track. Tire wear seems to go away. We've got a real good handle on these tires. NASCAR and Goodyear came up with the tires that we're racing here. I think Goodyear's amazing. They can just, you say, make us a tire that wears out. Okay, we can do that. We'll do whatever you want to do. And I think it's going to make for an interesting Daytona 500. What will make this Daytona 500 what it is when that caution flag falls. If there's a caution flag with 15 or 20 to go, wow, it's going to be a crazy race. If we are able to race to the end of the event without a caution, a lot of cautions late, then it might be more calm. Guys with better handling cars might be able to get it done.
Out on the track today, we will see you and Dale Earnhardt Jr. drafting together, no matter what somebody might have said in the heat of the battle earlier this week.
We have done a nice job since I joined this team working together, and he's won a bunch of races, I've won a few, and it's because we understand the importance of a pack, the two of us working together to get those cars to the front and keep them there. Now, late in the race, in 2002, going into turn one, I'm leading the Pepsi 400. He dives out on the outside of me and tries to win the race. That's what we're all about. Thursday's races, as we understood it, were just a situation where we wanted to learn what our cars wanted to do. Could we make passes? How would it all work? He made a great move on me and got the victory. That didn't bother me any. You know, Thursday's for learning. Today is what we're all about. This is a deal, the Daytona 500, and I'm ready, and my car is ready, and can't wait.
Thanks for coming up. Best of luck today.
Thank you.
Michael Waltrip qualified 9th. He will start 7th today. That's the first lap. Here's what's coming up on this supersized edition of the Discover Card Countdown to Green. After Matt Kenseth won the championship last season, he thanked his crew chief Robbie Reiser with a gift of horsepower. We'll go for a ride. Dale Earnhardt Jr. goes back in time to see what it might have been like if he was born 20 years earlier. Ryan Newman revisits his wild ride from last year's Daytona 500. Jeff Gordon and Jimmie Johnson try to see if there's a championship in the cards. And we'll tackle the issue of Joe Gibbs moving back to the NFL. All coming up on the Discover Card Countdown to Green.
Judy has a difficult job called 3 kids. She uses her Discover Card to buy things like gas, household supplies, and pudding. Because Discover Card pays her a cashback bonus award, so far she's earned $103. It's money she used to buy herself a little time off. Discover Card. Why not get paid for the things you buy anyway? The Discover Card is welcomed at BP Gas, Walgreens, Home Depot, and more than 1,000 new places every day.
You got ID? Okay.
Nothing goes better with leftovers than some ice-cold Pepsi. It's the Cola.
Inside those cars is something familiar, a battery. And if you think all batteries are the same, consider this. Kevin Harvick's pit crew trusts one brand of battery in every critical instrument they use, Duracell. So whether you're racing NASCAR's best or the kid down the street, it just has to work. Duracell, trusted everywhere.
Duracell, official alkaline battery of NASCAR.
What do you do when he wants meat lovers, she wants a Supreme, and you want your favorite? Well, Pizza Hut's got the answer. The incredible new 4-for-All. 4 individual pizzas filling one box from corner to corner for just $11.99. All on a not too thick, not too thin crust. The one and only 4-for-All. Just $11.99 only at Pizza Hut. The only way to make everyone happy is to gather around the good stuff.
I've been racing trucks over 7 years. I've never seen a closer finish than last year at Daytona International Speedway. I was coming off of turn 4, 190 miles an hour. Stacked up 3 wide to the start-finish line. I heard 90,000 fans cheering me to victory. That was very cool. Robert Presley was here, Travis Quapple on the outside.
3 wide for the win at Daytona.
Presley put this donut on me, and he finished 3rd.
The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Tough trucks, tough racing.
Discover Card Countdown to Green from the Daytona 500 is brought to you by Discover Card and their new cashback bonus program. It pays to discover. By the new Chevrolets, 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months, an American revolution. And by the new 4-for-All pizza. Everyone gets the toppings they want, and it's only at Pizza Hut.
The Nextel Cup season is 36 races long, and 2004 brings an overhaul to how NASCAR will determine its champion. It's a radical change that has received mixed reviews, resistance from inside the garage, negative feedback from some fans, eager anticipation from others. As Dave discovers, reaching the top 10 in this All-American countdown is going to require a long-distance dedication to hard racing.
Okay, I know some of you are still having trouble with the new chase for the championship. But you know, to me, it's kind of like making the move from vinyl to CD sound. Same great music, just in a different format with more excitement at the end. Yeah, that's it. Here's how it's going to work. After the first 26 races, NASCAR is going to take the top 10 in points, and they're going to raise them to an elite, unattainable level by these other guys. But then they're going to take any big lead or any deficit, and they're going to shrink it down. These guys will be separated by only 50 points. That means if your guy at that point is the boss and he's way ahead, that lead is gone. That's going to make you mad. I'm sorry. But if your guy is maybe in the top 10 but way behind, he's going to get a lot closer. It's going to be rock and roll. And I think that's what we might expect in the last 10 races. Do you realize that we could have a different championship leader in those last 10 races, even going down to the final race in Miami? I think it's going to be great. But what about these other guys down here? Well, you know what? In the last 29 seasons, no driver outside the top 10 in the final 10 races has ever gone on to win the championship. And they could win any or all of those last 10 races and take all the points that these guys are trying to get to win the championship. Talk about a twist. We'll see in November if this new chase for the championship turns out to be one of NASCAR's greatest hits. Bill?
Dave, a lot of drama down to the final laps this season. 31-year-old Matt Kenseth begins the season as the reigning champ. He had one win a year ago. Over the last 2 seasons, he has won 6 times. Only Ryan Newman and Kurt Busch have won more. Earlier this week, we rode along as Matt and crew chief Robbie Reiser hit the pavement here in Daytona with all 4 wheels, 2 apiece.
So, where'd you get the bike?
I got the bike from Matt. Walked outside and I said, boy, I really shouldn't take this, but it's too nice to give back.
Today, these biker buddies are friends, teammates, and champions. But in the late 80s, they were Wisconsin racing rivals.
I've heard there was a rivalry involved as weeks, months, time unfolded.
Well, there was probably some bumpers bashed and some fenders broken along the way somewhere.
We're working pretty hard to bring something out here.
Yeah.
Matt was 18 years old and I was probably, I don't know, 24 or 25, and he started coming in and running against us, and I wasn't so willing to give up my turf at the time.
You want equal time here?
Well, I mean, you know, I respected Robbie because he was well, maybe I didn't respect him, but he, you know, he was the king of the hill at that time. I like to call him the high school bully.
He accidentally ran into you there a couple times.
Well, I think I intentionally ran into him a couple times.
In 1995, Robbie and his family-owned team moved south with dreams of success as a driver in the Busch Series. But Reiser Racing ran out of luck and money. In 1997, Robbie found a driver with a sponsor to fill his seat. But that driver was hurt after just a handful of races.
You know, I had to sit down and choose a driver, and the only one in my mind, the only one that could drive it was Matt. We probably shocked the whole state of Wisconsin when we made this decision.
Because?
Just because of racing against each other and never really seeing eye to eye on a lot of things, and you know, just being competitors. How could something like this work?
It just clicked right away. You know, I could understand what he was saying, and he had respect for what I was doing because he drove before and he knew what I was going through. And you know, within 1 hour, I could just tell that it was going to work good together.
Now, 7 years later, the two are still together and on top. NASCAR champions. A success story because one arch rival gave up his seat for another.
When you decided to give up the seat, was that hard for you to do?
I don't think I've even sat in the car since that day went by. You know, it just it was a decision that had to be made, and it got made, and I've had to live with it, and that's the way it is.
To add to that a little bit, when we go to Dover, which is one of his favorite places, and if we're running good, especially when we had the Busch car, he'd say, man, I wish when I watch that thing go around there, I sure wish I was driving. And then when we blow a right front tire and hit the wall, he's like, oh man, I'm glad I'm not driving.
Now, Matt told me he gave Robbie that motorcycle because he wanted his crew chief and friend to have more than just the memories to remind him of their championship. And coming into the 2004 season, they are the reigning Nextel Cup champions, and it's our pleasure at NBC Sports to welcome the president and CEO of Nextel, Tim Donahue. Good to see you, sir.
Hey, Bill. Thanks for having me.
How are you?
I'm jazzed. I'm so delighted to be here.
You were at this race 2 years ago and fell in love with it.
I was. When we started first talking about whether or not NASCAR made sense for for Nextel, I came down, and that's all it took. It was just one time to see the excitement in this sport, the crowds, the drivers, the owners, everybody involved in it. It's just been a fantastic ride for us.
You attended the drivers' meeting here in July and got the standing ovation from the drivers. How did that make you feel?
Well, that was definitely a fun day, and you know, I think that more so probably than any other sport, at least that we've been associated with, the NASCAR fan base it's just been incredible in terms of taking this sport to where it is today. And what we're all about is trying to continue to enhance the experience for the fans. And I think you'll see us doing that as we move down the road.
We can already see your impact around this track, not to mention all the others are going to attend, all the signage, plus the huge promotional mentions in the print and the electronic media.
Yeah, we're working real hard in terms of getting an experience for the fans that's new and it's different. You know, we have something called the Nextel Experience.
Right.
It's on the grounds, and it'll be at all the races, and it's a wonderful interactive display that we have where the fans can actually sit in simulators, drive cars through the simulator, watch a pit crew work. There's lots of history inside the experience that talks about the history of NASCAR, and it's been terrific for us.
12 million customers, 17,000 employees, and the Nextel Tribute to America coming up today. We look forward to it. Thank you for your time, Tim.
Thanks very much, Bill. It's delightful.
Good to see you. Now, coming up as we continue on the Discover Card Countdown to Green, Ryan Newman walks us through his spectacular wreck here 1 year ago.
When I fall in love, it will be forever.
Get your teeth in it!
Ah, what some couples will do.
I love you.
For $1 million.
I swallowed a chunk of heart.
The Fear Factor Couples Championship Finale, NBC Monday.
Is your transmission fluid old and dirty? Replace it with AMCO's Power Purge. AA MCO.
Presenting the 245 horsepower all-wheel drive Nissan Murano. An SUV for the wilds of civilized society.
Call coast to coast on the nationwide Suncom AT&T wireless network. The Welcome Home America family plan. We're Suncom, and we get it.
We offer more than 80 course disciplines and certifications, ranging from horticulture to pottery. And with campuses in Chesapeake, Norfolk, Portsmouth, and Virginia Beach, an affordable, rewarding education is accessible to everyone, even online. Tidewater Community College. From here, go anywhere.
If you live, work, worship, or go to school in any of these Southside areas, you could qualify for the benefits of ABNB Federal Credit Union membership. Stop in today and discover why we're better than a bank.
Ice in Hampton Roads, Monday at 5 and 6 on Wavy News 10.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
NASCAR is coming to IMAX. And it's racing right off the screen in IMAX 3D. Projected on a screen up to 8 stories high with 12,000 watts of digital surround sound that puts you behind the wheel. NASCAR 3D, the IMAX experience, rated PG. Racing into IMAX theaters March 12th.
With 43 guys out there, somebody's going to make a mistake. You're probably going to make a mistake, and you just hope that it doesn't start that big one.
Just got to be careful. You got to be on your toes all day long. It is the Daytona 500.
You see a bunch of near misses, and you think, okay, well, everybody's on the game today, nothing's going to happen, and then it does happen.
You just kind of hold on tight and hope you make it through.
Stewart's car up in the air and over, barrel rolling, turning gyrations.
There's trouble off the corner. Several cars involved. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Loose. And crashed. Trouble off turn 2. Is this the big wreck?
spun us. Caution's out. He spun us. Caution's out. Caution's out. Right behind you. All right, guys, we just spun. Hang on to it. Go low, go low, go low, go low.
Ryan Newman won 8 races last season. No one else won more than 4. Newman finished 6th in the championship standings. What cost him a shot at the title was a disappointing start to the season. 5 finishes of 38th or worse in his first 11 races. And nowhere was his finish more disappointing than Daytona.
Oh, contact in the pack. 2 cars into the wall in the middle of the field. Over on its roof is Brian Newman in the tri-oval grass. The car flips 2, now 3 times, and comes to rest on its roof just off the front stretch.
Do you realize where you're standing right now?
About right there.
Okay.
Actually, about right there. But
you probably haven't even stepped on this grass since that day, have you?
No.
They've resodded, you see.
Yeah. I get to take a piece home with me.
Oh, did you? Yeah, did you really? Intentionally or not?
No, it was in the car. I remember the sound very clearly. That can't even describe the sound, but I know if it ever happened again, what it was. Hopefully I never hear it again.
People ask me all the time, eyes open the entire time, eyes shut. Do you remember?
I think naturally my eyes were open, but I think again naturally when you realize there's an impact coming, you close them for a split second. It's real natural, just like when you see an insect flying towards your eye, your natural instinct is to close your eye. The difference is that the wall is a little stronger than the bug.
Has anything at all in your life changed from this incident?
The one thing that has changed is, it's to give us some, as the engineering talking, giving us some more data for understanding what happens, what I go through in crashes like that. You notice I don't really take my eyes off it because I still watch it and try to look at different things. Where the sod, the piece of sod's been hanging around with me the whole time there. I remember the windshield there being ripped down, busted down because of the car landing on its roof, and just pretty wild. I still have the helmet. Actually, it's still got a bunch of mud and sod stuck in it. I have that helmet. I have the Michigan Fire helmet. I have the Talladega helmet with some other damage and stuff like that.
Why do you keep those, Ryan?
They're keepsakes, just like this video clip that you keep showing everybody. Yeah.
Ryan Newman, of course, looking to turn things around from that incident last year. Ryan, I think the biggest surprise to some folks is how dominant you've been on certain tracks and not here at Daytona or in restrictor plate races. Can you guys get a win today?
I think we can. Just everything's got to line itself correctly. You got to have brakes your way, and then sometimes you got to have brakes going against other people. I guess they call that bad racing luck, but we'll have to see how it goes. The Altel Dodge is pretty good. I'd say it's a little above average. I'm really looking forward to the sun breaking out.
All right, Ryan's had his meeting with his crew chief. He's on his way to driver introductions to get this thing started. Bill?
And Ryan qualified 20th, but will start at the back of the field because of an engine change yesterday. Kevin Harvick starts 10 places in front of him in 10th position. In August of last year, Harvick won the Brickyard 400. Today, he hopes to add the Daytona 500 to his racing resume.
The checkered flag is in sight, and the California kid, Kevin Harvick, wins the 10th Brickyard 400.
Kevin Harvick made learning moves in the Budweiser shootout and his Twin 125, finishing 3rd and 5th. Kevin, did you find that winning move you want?
I hope so. The GM Goodwin Chevrolet has been really good since we've been here, and those were for trophies. This is the real deal. This pays the points, pays the money, and this is the Daytona 500. So it's a lot longer day, which is what we're a lot better at than the little short sprint races, and got the team and the people to do it, so we're just ready to go.
Rain ruined his shot for victory last year, finishing 4th today. He makes his bid for his first Daytona 500 win from 10th. Bill?
Thanks, Matt. Jeff Gordon starts 39th today. He's a 2-time winner of the Daytona 500. His teammate Jimmie Johnson starts 6th. Coming up, a friendly game of cards with a couple of jokers.
Dear Daryl, we heard you're running with Toyota Power. So how do you like your new truck? Eddie Connor, Westboro, Mass.
It's a big, fast, tough truck. What's not to like?
Sincerely, Darrell Walton.
Brought to you by Toyota, the newest member of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and proud of it.
We build over 700 engines a year with a staff of 70 people. The biggest problem we face is friction. It robs us of power.
We're looking for two things: getting the most available power and keeping the engine alive.
One of the simplest ways to reduce friction in the engine is to use Quaker State, engineered to deliver a 10% lower coefficient of friction.
In the last 7 years, we've been fortunate enough to win 8 championships, and Quaker State helped us get there.
The power to reduce friction.
That thing's loud. How's it work?
It makes the car go faster.
Yeah, but how does it make the car go faster?
Well, let's say you're going a certain speed. With the top speed technology, it's going a ton faster.
You really don't know how it works, do you?
No.
Top speed technology is up to 5 times faster on dial-up, and it's built into AOL 9.0 optimized. Go to AOL.com.
Meet Greg Biffle, Subway-sponsored professional race car driver. A man who doesn't know the meaning of the word slow.
Done! I win! Yes!
Subway, proud sponsor of Greg Biffle and the number 16 car.
Biffle, you're the man!
Subway, eat fresh.
NASCAR, California Speedway, and 100,000 of your closest friends. The NASCAR Auto Club 500 is coming to California Speedway April 30th through May 2nd. Order your tickets right now. Treat yourself to an entire weekend by coming out for all of Saturday's action, including the always exciting Busch Series race and a live musical performance. Auto Club members receive special benefits. Don't miss out. Call today at 1-800-PIT-SHOP or go to CaliforniaSpeedway.com. California Speedway, America's ultimate race place.
Tonight, come on! It's the premiere of Shrek on NBC. The Oscar-winning film starring Mike Myers, Your Breath Stink, Cameron Diaz, and Eddie Murphy.
I'm a donkey on the edge!
Plus, an all-new preview of Shrek 2. Wow! Shrek, NBC tonight, 7/6 Central.
Bye-bye!
The Discover Card countdown to green continues at the Daytona 500 on what is expected to be a cool, windy, partly sunny, and dry, that's the key word, dry afternoon. 43 drivers will start this race, but somebody has to lead the cars around the track on the pace laps. Today, that somebody is actor Ben Affleck. Yesterday, Wally Dallenbach gave Ben a few driving tips in the pace car. Some tips that left Ben and the rest of us a little foggy.
Here's what you don't want to do. NASCAR won't like it if you get right up against this wall. I normally wouldn't run this close to the wall with my Wally World car, but since this is a rental, I don't really care. Anyway, I understand you're in the film business.
Yeah!
Make some money at that?
Yeah, that's okay.
Very cool.
Never done one of these before.
We got a problem here because I can't see anything right now in turn 3. Okay, now we're going to hit this banking. Way up on the bank. Is this cool or what?
Didn't you put David Spade into the wall one time?
I put David Spade in the wall on purpose, but I wouldn't do that to you. Oh, almost. Just kidding. Sure. You are ready to take me for a lap now. We're ready. Okay, buddy. Hammer it. Yeah!
You're supposed to brake before you come into these turns, right?
Never touch the brakes here.
The brakes are for sissies?
Brakes are for sissies.
No!
You're doing good. I mean, very nice. 125, 130 miles per hour.
See, this is one of the great... There's no traffic cops here. I don't get a ticket for this.
Great.
I mean, this is terrifying right now.
No, you don't look terrified to me. Woo! That's it, man. You have passed the test. Yeah, you can get it done. Keep your hands on the wheel, though.
That is the key. Keep your hands on the steering wheel. Jeff Gordon has 64 career wins. His teammate Jimmie Johnson has 75 career starts. Gordon has 4 championships. Johnson has 6 wins. At the age of 32, Gordon is a leader. At the age of 28, Johnson is following the leader. They are teammates and friends, along with their crew chiefs, Robbie Loomis and Chad Knaus. In racing, the deck is almost always stacked against you. But in this high-speed, high-stakes game of poker, here are 4 of a kind that believe they can win in any full house.
Ante up. Little friendly game of poker. Let's have some fun. Oh,
wait. These were the ones
coming out with the red. Whoa.
I'm shaking.
Okay. What? $1,500. This is a friendly game of poker. Okay, remember, friendly. We're friends here. This money's not real. Oh, yeah. This is how Robbie works. You know,
that big lead, almost sit down.
He'll get excited at the beginning, then as soon as he gets a little something on his side, it's like, you know, little green chips from then on. Fold, green.
He's on the positive
I have
side.
learned poker's a lot like racing. I mean, there's a lot of similarities, especially playing with Chad.
He's still bluffing me.
What do you mean? It's open book, buddy.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
You know that.
Well, I learned with him. Oh, tires look good.
That doesn't mean that necessarily.
It just hasn't blown apart yet, so that's good.
So you bluff at the racetrack sometimes?
You know, if you have to, I'm going to pit on 44 for sure. And you pit on 46. It just, your fuel mileage just got just a little bit better.
Wait a minute, that's what you did to me yesterday in the race. You did that to me. That wasn't Yoakum.
As long as you don't bluff to us.
It's open book, buddy.
I get asked that question all the time. You know, how come you don't have Jimmie set up?
Oh, Lord.
Whatever. Got to handle stress well. That's the key to poker, too.
Getting quiet.
And the stare.
Stare down.
Stare
down.
I got some shades all I got. Nothing going on there.
It's just cheap. Wait a minute. You just grabbed some chips off. Where'd you get that? I know you didn't win the last hand.
Johnson's been playing with these. Oh, what is this?
Hold on. No, this game's over. I got 24, baby.
Oh. I think that's a winning hand. All right, so we're at the 500. It's all or nothing.
We're all in. We know
Everybody's all in.
You don't have Everybody's all in.
Everybody's all in.
Okay. It's just like the 500.
All right, let's see how it plays.
Looks
Thank
like
you, boys.
Jimmie wins the Daytona 500.
And I like that.
We don't like that too much.
All right, how's this? As far as I'm concerned, if it's anything like this, it's a victory.
There you go.
How's that?
That's right. That works. Let's do it, boss.
Deal with that?
I'm good.
All right, buddy. Come on, crew chief.
Let's do it. James.
Tight one.
And we'll see who has the winning hand today. And there's what a lot of people have been waiting for, Air Force One, as it approaches Daytona Beach. In 1944, President Franklin Roosevelt called for the creation of the Presidential Pilot's Office to provide air transportation for the president and his staff. And President George W. Bush will be here, landing just a few minutes at the airport directly behind the Daytona International Speedway. He'll be coming to pit road to greet the drivers and will give the command to fire engines here this afternoon. For most of the first 20 years, various four-engine propeller-driven aircraft were used for presidential air travel. The first jet was a Boeing 707 in 1962. Today, there are two Boeing 747-200Bs that take the president around the country and around the world. And whether he's on either plane, the designation is always Air Force One. Well, on the aircraft, the president and the staff have access to a full range of services. Flying over the track, they'll be landing in just a few minutes right behind the speedway. Now let's get back to the action at hand. Let's check in with Marty.
Well, Bill, we've learned two things in the last 30 seconds. The president's almost here, and Jeff Gordon needs some help at poker. But in the game of poker, you don't show your hand, and even teammates are your enemies. But today's a different game. Teammates are your friends. Why, Jeff?
Well, you got to have them. I mean, the way the draft works, you know, you got to have somebody that you can trust, somebody you can work with, and they can work with you. And it's hard to find that anywhere else but your teammates. So we're looking forward to getting up to the front, getting with those guys, and having a lot of fun out there.
Two-time Daytona 500 winner Jeff Gordon will have a long way to go if he wants to win today. He will start 31st. Matt?
Jimmie Johnson's boss does have two Daytona 500 wins. You want one, and your crew chief, Chad Knaus, gambled yesterday during practice. Did he stumble on an even better setup, Chad?
I hope he did. I'm Jimmie.
I'm
joking. I hope so. I hope so. You know, we felt very comfortable with the car the day before in practice. And Chad went to work, tried some things out, and we were just going to try and see if it worked. And he rolled the dice. And yesterday it worked out good. I just hope it applies to today. I really think it will, especially since the sun's coming out. I think this Los Monte Carlo is going to be in great shape.
He rolls off 6. He finished 3rd in this event 1 year ago, Bill.
Thanks, Matt. And I just want to tell you, this place saw Air Force One, and it is buzzing, waiting the arrival of the president. We'll see him land here in just a few minutes, and here's what else is ahead on the Discover Card Countdown to Green. Joe Gibbs now has 2 Super Bowls every year. The first one is today. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is a student of racing history. Today he's a student driver in an old Rusty Wallace Chevy. And Wally Dollaback hits the track, hoping his car is a good draft pick. All still ahead on the Daytona 500 edition of the Discover Card Countdown to Green.
Jack is searching for his son's athletic talent. The search has proven problematic. But every time Jack uses his Discover card to buy things, he gets paid a cashback bonus award. So far, he's earned $130. It's money he used to buy his son something more suitable. Discover card. Why not get paid for the things you buy anyway? The Discover card is welcome to Toys R Us, Sports Authority, Valley Total Fitness, and more than 1,000 new places every day.
If a relaxing moment turns into the right moment, will you be ready? Introducing Cialis, the first tablet for erectile dysfunction that gives you up to 36 hours to choose the moment that's right for you and your partner. New Cialis goes to work fast and can work for up to 36 hours. Cialis is not for everyone. If you take nitrates for chest pain or certain alpha blockers for prostate problems or high blood pressure, do not take Cialis. Such combinations could cause a sudden unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. The most common side effects were headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. Erections lasting longer than 4 hours, though rare, require immediate medical help. Discuss your health status with your doctor to ensure Cialis is right for you and you are healthy enough for sexual activity. Ask your doctor if a free sample of prescription Cialis is right for you. 36-hour Cialis. When the moment is right, will you be ready? You could have a dash panel made from the same steel as every other truck. Or from the quiet steel, found only in the new Ford F-150. The choice is yours. This or this. The quietest pickup, period. Only this truck earned the right to be the 2004 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Meat! Pepperoni!
Green pepperoni! Guys, stop fighting! I've got the new Pizza Hut 4-for-all. 1, 2, 3, 4 pizzas in one. You can all get what you want. And I've got green peppers just for you, Kermie.
Jessica.
Kermie.
The amazing new 4-for-all pizza from Pizza Hut for only $11.99.
Jessica. Step away from the frog! Bye-bye. Gather round the good stuff!
Think these walls are tough? Check out these walls. The AFL on NBC next Sunday, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific.
Air Force One landing here in Daytona Beach, Florida, bringing President George W. Bush to the Daytona 500, where he'll give the command. The plane landing just a few moments ago, and just for the record, Air Force One doesn't make many pit stops. It carries enough fuel to fly halfway around the world. As a football coach, Joe Gibbs was a workaholic. As a car owner, he was a raceaholic. In both roles, he was a winner. Now Gibbs has re-entered a never-ending race, the one for NFL supremacy. And as Marty Snyder reports, Coach Gibbs now hopes all 3 of his teams can complete the winning paths.
Why would you take all this on? That's what I've got to know that.
Kind of stupid. That's what I think it is, kind of wild. Wouldn't have dreamed it, 6 months ago, but I guess the best thing to say, a series of things in your life kind of fall into place, and you think, well, I feel like I'm being led to consider coaching again.
Let me read some descriptive quotes from your first retirement. Utter exhaustion. Around-the-clock work schedule. 16 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Those sound familiar?
They do sound familiar. There's no getting around it. It is, it's a real grind, and I certainly go into it with my eyes wide open, knowing this is going to be a very, very hard thing to do.
The first hard thing he had to do was tell his drivers, Bobby the Bonnie and Tony Stewart, that he was headed back to the NFL.
when I told Tony, you know, he said to me, he goes, hey, you got to be ready for this one when you get down there. And I said, what's that? He says, the people asked me, he said, well, how about Joe? And he goes, I didn't really like him anyway. And then he said, now, I think the reason why he went back into this was to pay for Bobby and Tony's contract. That's true.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
probably true.
I think Tony's fans are a little concerned because you're the one who seemingly kept him in line for so long. You buy into that at all?
No, I didn't really keep him in the line. You saw what he did when I was there. I think it'd probably be much. I tell you, Tony to me has matured, getting this new contract done, seeing him win that championship. I really see Tony. It's really, in a lot of ways, enjoying things more. Bobby has always been, to me, solid as a rock. Now, don't misinterpret now. He can blow a gasket now. He's gone after me a few times, you know, on some real serious issues. I really think both of those guys they help drive what we do there.
Bobby the Bonnie has a 6-year contract. Tony Stewart has a 6-year contract. Contract here, 5 years. Do you expect to be back at Joe Gibbs Racing full-time and renegotiating those contracts when all is said and done?
I think it's going to depend what all happens here. This won't be forever. This is going to be a window, and it just depends on, I think, how we feel and how I feel and how everybody thinks and how the fans feel. The race team is forever, hopefully. We have 230 people working there. I take that as one of the most valued things anybody could ever have. Our family, all of us, hopefully we're going to own it and have it forever.
Riding around the track with Bobby the Bonnie, Joe Gibbs driver. And real quick on Joe Gibbs, you get a sense while you're there that it's absolute chaos around him with just a touch of control, but you get the sense that he's in his element. He thinks the odds are against him, but if you're like me, spend a day with him and you'll beg to differ that he will have success in racing and in the NFL. You know, this may be the only race that Coach Gibbs gets to come to this year, Bobby, so can you win one for the coach?
We sure would love to. You know, he's won this race before as a team owner. We sure like to win another one for him, but we're really excited about our chances today. I think we got a pretty good race car. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of cars out there that's going to be competitive, and we have to get ourselves in position at the end of the race to take advantage of everything we can take advantage of to be number one.
The head coach of the Redskins has 2 shots to win today's race. This man, and the man was with Dave Burns.
And that is Tony Stewart, who's had quite a week. It started down when you didn't have as much speed as you wanted, went up when your team found it, which you're not supposed to be able to do here at Daytona. And then down yesterday in final practice, Tony's car getting involved with the one of John Andretti, ending up wrecking that car, which was so quick. As you started that session, Tony, your team worked on it. Is it back in the shape it was?
Yeah, the guys had to work hard. I had to work 2 days in a row because, you know, 10 days in a row is a long week for John Andretti. He starts running out of talent after the 3rd day, so it was my fault. I knew better than to be around him. I mean, he wrecks a lot, and you know, I talked to him in driver inductions. I said, stay away from my car, and you know, he still thinks he hadn't done anything wrong. So you know, 2 days in a row he's run us around the racetrack, but you know, you know guys that trust, and you know guys that you don't trust, and that's why Petty's fired him, and that's why we're here with our Home Depot Monte Carlo. Those guys are working hard, and you know, they've had to work. You know, both the motor department and the fab shop guys, they've had to really bust their butts this weekend. I mean, John's tried to tear our car up, and then, you know, the motor department's tried to get the speed back in it. So, yeah, we got an awesome race team. Those guys have done a great job, and, you know, I talked to Dale Jr. We're back on our same plan we always are here, so don't be surprised to see the 8 and 20 hooked up together again today.
The 20 should be a factor today, Bill.
And throughout Speed Weeks, there have been some controversial moments among drivers. We'll see how that unfolds this afternoon. Coming up next, Dale Earnhardt Jr. drives a Penske Chevy here at Daytona with Rusty Wallace's name on it, and Matt Yoakum's in the middle of it all. Don't believe me? Here's what we call a video tease.
Now, I don't know of any driver that has a Winston Cup Series champion torquing his lug nuts for him.
He actually told me a little story about this car. He said Rusty punted him in the wall with this car, so...
Yeah, he was the first guy that Rusty put the bumper to.
Benny's a little sentimental himself.
BP, this car bring back some memories?
Yeah.
coming. 10 new cars and trucks. The new Chevrolets, an American revolution.
We are the champions, my friends. We'll keep on fighting.
Ah, the feeling of asking your doctor about Viagra.
Why do dark chocolate Hershey's Kisses look so good? Because they have impeccable taste. Little Hershey's Kisses, dark chocolate taste.
Brian Newman drives just like you. He warms up the car, fights his way through traffic, and hurries home at the end of the day. That's why he depends on Mobile One for advanced wear protection. Nothing outperforms Mobile One, the official motor oil of NASCAR.
Your home, your ideas, and the freedom to express them. At Lowe's, we make it easy. Introducing the Pergo Signature line, only at Lowe's. Laminate flooring has never looked and felt so much like real wood. Lowe's stocks more laminate floors like Pergo and Armstrong than anybody else. And at Lowe's, we have low prices every day, guaranteed. That's our promise. Lowe's, improving home improvement.
Use your Lowe's card and pay nothing for 12 months on flooring purchases of $2.99 or more.
Professional bull riders riding the meanest bulls around. The difference between glory or pain is just 8 seconds. The Anaheim Open. Today, 5 Eastern, NBC.
Earnhardt Jr. takes over Wallace as we head into the final.
Racing will never be the same, with exclusive content on AOL and Track Pass on NASCAR.com.
The coolest thing that was said to me after that race was the first thing that was said to me: how does it feel to be a 2-time champion of the Daytona 500? Oh man, that's really neat. I like that a lot. And, you know, you're introduced as that guy for a long time to come. You know, and if you got to be good somewhere, there's no place better to be good than at Daytona.
Michael chasing his third Daytona 500 win, his teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr. chasing his first. Earnhardt has the genes and the means to chase championships for years. He has won at this track, just not in this race, a race and a place that he truly cherishes. As a student of the sport, Earnhardt Jr. knows he is a part of its future, but he is also intrigued by its past. So Matt Yoakum borrowed a vintage race car to give this throwback driver a feel for the wheel of racing history.
Have you ever seen anything like this that you're going to have a chance to drive?
Wow. That's awesome.
You know, many see you as the next generation NASCAR driver, but you're a throwback driver at heart, aren't you? Why?
I don't know. You know, it just seemed like the most exciting time to be a driver and be a part of the sport. The sport was a lot rougher around the edges. I wish that I was racing back when these cars were around. That'd be awesome.
But the 70s was a decade that Junior was born. And with a superstar father dominating the 80s, it was only natural that Junior came to admire those men and their machinery.
I mean, a lot of new bars, roll cage bars and stuff in the cars we drive today that you don't see in this car, which is interesting. I'm going to try to get in without taking the steering wheel off, because that's how they did it back then. Old school. Yeah.
Crank her up. Have some fun. So tell me what you're feeling.
There ain't a whole lot of difference in just the feel of the wheel. The shocks on this car are quite a bit different than what we run today, so the car's bouncing around, jumping around a little bit.
Is that all you got so far, or is it you got it matted?
It's pretty close to matted. I think I'm smelling a little bit of tire rub in the right rear there.
I was talking to BP. He wants to know if you're scared in there. He says he would be, that old car.
This car here, you definitely got to keep after it. He'll get away from you in a heartbeat. Drives down in the corner real good, to the center good, but coming up off the corner, you definitely feel that you lose the nose of the car quite a bit.
Hey, can you imagine what that car must be like in a draft of 18 or 20 other cars?
That'd be pretty insane. Is that fast enough? How's on the mat?
Well, you got it smoking.
Yeah, I ran it pretty hard.
Feel like, what, 190?
I doubt that. While I was out there running around, I was thinking I might have to get me one of these.
Dale Sr. would have really gotten a kick out of seeing his son on this day, maybe almost as much as seeing him win at this historic racetrack.
Why is this place so special?
Well, he won so many races here. You know, watched him make every move he ever made on you know, in the 80s and 90s, and you know, tried to learn from it. And I think that everything you see me do on the racetrack today is a reflection of just, you know, studying everything, studying him lap by lap.
Don't you just wish, though, you had somebody else tuck up behind you?
Oh, I'd like to have been out there with about 43 other guys in this car, the same equipment, but just to see what kind of race car driver I'd have been back then.
I think you would have been pretty darn good.
Junior said his only disappointment, he didn't have a Petty, a Pearson, an Allison, a Yarborough, and a Parsons out on the racetrack to draft with and try to do one of those old-style slingshot moves. That's only the first installment of Junior's old-time adventures. He wants to go back even farther with an older, bigger, and badder NASCAR race car at some older historic racetrack. So stay tuned. Bill?
Matt, we can't wait. Outstanding job. Yesterday during the rain, Junior was in his transporter. He described that car, the experience, as being really cool. Next, Wally does what Wally does best, ordering up another draft.
Judy has a difficult job called 3 Kids. She uses her Discover card to buy things like gas, household supplies, and pudding. Because Discover card pays her a cashback bonus award. So far, she's earned $103. It's money she used to buy herself a little time off. Discover card. Why not get paid for the things you buy anyway? The Discover card is welcomed at BP Gas, Walgreens, Home Depot, and more than 1,000 new places every day.
You're letting your brother get in this car and you don't even know how this thing works.
Relax, Pop. It'll be fine.
All my brother Paulie knew about the AOL top speed technology was that it made things go fast.
All right, Frankie, punch it!
Turns out it's just supposed to make the internet fast.
That was awesome.
Don't be stupid.
Where'd you go?
Went to the Renaissance.
Top speed technology is up to 5 times faster on dial-up, and it's built into AOL 9.0 optimized. Go to AOL.com.
Dear Daryl, you were voted most popular driver in 89 and 90, but I must admit, back in the 70s, I booed you. Can you ever forgive me? I'm Rocky McMurray from New Smyrna Beach, Florida. Hey, man, no hard feelings. Sincerely, Darrell Walter.
Toyota, the newest member of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and proud of it.
Meet Greg Biffle, Subway-sponsored professional race car driver. A man who doesn't know the meaning of the word slow.
Done! I win! Yes!
Subway, proud sponsor of Greg Biffle and the number 16 car. Subway, eat fresh.
A.J. Foyt's father passed his Craftsman tools on to his son.
Some of my father's tools are a little bit older than I am.
Who's passing them on to his son.
We still use a lot of his tools out there to this day.
Who will one day pass them on to his son.
You know, it's just amazing that they were that good back then, then they're still the best today.
Dad knew they'd last at least 4 lifetimes.
Craftsman's 1,600 hand tools are guaranteed forever and made in America. Craftsman at Sears.
NBC tonight on an all-new Law & Order Criminal Intent. A bank robber uses innocent people.
Don't shoot! They got me wired!
As human bombs. Now they've got him.
Police, put your hands up!
But there's one still out there.
Now we need to intercept her before she straps on that bomb.
All-new Law & Order Criminal Intent. NBC tonight.
The 46th running of the Daytona 500 on tap this afternoon. Many of these 200,000 fans have been here for 10 days. And here's one of the newest fans coming into the track. The President of the United States, George W. Bush, landed just a few minutes ago at the airport behind the Speedway. Now the motorcade proceeding onto the track and around the racing surface. And shortly, he will be greeted by many of the Nextel Cup Series drivers. And later on this afternoon, he will give the command to fire the engines. Wally Dallenbach wants to give you a lesson in drafting here at Daytona. How do you get it done? Well, you have to pay attention, and one simple rule is 3 cars are better than 1.
Welcome to Daytona in my Mountain Dew car. Now, we talk a lot about drafting, so let's try to give you some first-hand experience here from inside the car. When you're drafting, you want to stay as close as you can to the guy in front of you. You're letting him break all the air, but I need some help getting by him. So I'm going to call up to my spotter and say, hey, see if this guy will go behind me. I want to go for the lead. So I'll put my hand up and I'll say, wait a minute, let's go, follow me. Now 2 cars are faster than 1 in the draft. Now I'm up front. Uh-oh, I'm a sitting duck, because now the same thing can happen to me. Mark decides to go with Frank. 2 cars are faster than 1. I'm hung out to dry. I got to get back into the draft. Now, a couple of hand signals we'll see is this. This means let's just stay in line, guys. We got 7 or 8 cars in a line, and we're really, really fast. Another hand signal you'll see is, come on, let's go. Let's pass these guys in front of me. And last but not least, this is the universal sign of saying I'm really mad at you. But that's just the PG version.
Now, live back here at the Daytona International Speedway, the motorcade with the president has pulled along pit road. The United States, George W. Bush. You can hear the reaction from the crowd. Of course, his brother, the governor of the state of Florida. President Bush met many of the Nextel Cup drivers at the White House this past December. They were in New York for the end-of-year banquet and made the trip to Washington and were part of a ceremony at the White House in which the president met with the drivers and joked with them, commented about it was the first time he had seen cars actually parked on the lawn at the White House. Among the drivers that were in attendance in Washington, Jimmie Johnson, and of course reigning champion Matt Kenseth was there with his crew chief Robbie Reiser and car owner Jack Roush. The next night at dinner, car owner Jack Roush described the experience of meeting the president as unbelievable. He said it really brought winning the series championship into focus, because that was something he probably never would have done if they hadn't won the championship. Bill Elliott also down there with the president. You see Joe Nemechek, Kurt Busch, Bobby Labonte is there. Labonte and Tony Stewart both went to the White House after winning their series championships. Shaking hands with several of the drivers. Greg Biffle, the pole sitter, who will start at the back of the field today after his team made an engine change yesterday. Biffle disappointed but optimistic about his chances today. So the President of the United States, George W. Bush, among the 200,000 fans that are here for the Daytona 500, all waiting for the excitement to begin. And that's just moments away. And this countdown is at 0. And the Discover Card Countdown to Green wraps it up. And get ready for the Daytona 500, which comes up next, live on NBC.
This has been the Discover Card Countdown to Green. Let's go racing.
Tuesday, start your engines. Go! For an all-new Tuesday Fear Factor. This time, they've got the skills, they've got the moves, but do they have the guts? Yeah, there they are. Then, on an all-new Scrubs, Michael J. Fox in the performance of his career.
Why can't I sit on you?
Why? Scrubs after a Tuesday Fear Factor on NBC.
Sometimes stuff just doesn't work right. That's why you should drive a Toyota certified used vehicle. Toyotas have that dependable quality, so you shouldn't have to worry about high repair costs. Don't you wish Toyota made more stuff? See your Toyota dealer now for great low financing on Toyota certified used vehicles. The best new cars make the best used cars.
Dad, if I'm gonna take this thing, I gotta lose this headache fast. Got any goodies handy?
Pal, I told you he's going to goodies on the last pit, but do you listen to me?
Dad, I'm trying to race here.
Can you spare me the lecture?
Because it's a powder, goodies dissolves faster than tablets, so it gets to work fast.
Hey,
Wait! You got some dirt on your visor.
Dad, you're embarrassing me.
Goodies, it's just plain fast.
Excuse me. Hi, can I see that laptop?
Sure. You can access the internet all around your house. It's wireless networking.
Did you say wireless?
I'm free, I'm free. Not just a puppet on a string, no ties to anything.
Find your freedom. Get a $150 rebate with any laptop at Best Buy. Thousands of possibilities. Get yours.
Ice in Hampton Roads, Monday at 5 and 6 on Wavy News 10.
Well, I'm taking my time, just moving on. You'll forget about me after I've been gone. And I take what I find. I don't run no more. It's just outside of your front door. Yeah. Gentlemen, start your engine!
Daytona 500.
There's just a big excitement about the Daytona 500.
Series champions.
It's just tough to win.
Daytona champions.
The prestige of it has just been built for so many years.
The ultimate prize.
If you got to be good somewhere, there's no place better to be good than at Daytona.
The legacy.
Using lessons learned from his father.
You just feel it building up, building up, building up. It's hard to keep everything peaceful.
And now all of a sudden it's time.
Cale hits him. He slides. Winning 2 Daytona 500 to be 2 minutes.
The one prize that has eluded him. NBC Sports presents the 46th running of the Daytona 500. Live from Daytona Beach, Florida. The sun has come out, it's a breezy afternoon, and for 43 of the greatest drivers in the world, in front of 200,000 fans, their afternoon begins by shaking hands with the President of the United States, who arrived just a few moments ago, with Dale Earnhardt Jr., Elliott Sadler, and the rest of the starting field. That's the thrill that begins their afternoon. For one driver, one more thrill is just 500 miles away, the thrill of winning the Daytona 500. Welcome to the 4th season of NASCAR on NBC. And now it's my pleasure to throw it upstairs to the 3 men that have the honor of calling the Great American Race. Alan Bestwick, Wally Dallenbach, and the 1975 Daytona 500 winner, Benny Parsons.
Bill, thank you. We're very excited to bring you the Great American Race this afternoon. You know, last Sunday, Dale Jr. called BP here the king of cool. We like to call him the professor. He's the professor of racing. He's the 500 champion. He's a former NASCAR champion. And the professor would like to teach us the word of the day.
Well, actually, it's been the word of the last week, and that word is balance. That's when all 4 tires on the car work exactly the same. Those tires that Dave Burns showed you earlier in the show, that wear was caused because the car was not balanced properly. But balance is a very elusive thing. He keeps moving around. A car might be balanced today for 100 miles, but not for 400. The guy that keeps the car balanced the best has a better chance of winning the Daytona 500.
And BP, if you don't have that car balanced, you could cause a lot of trouble, and I know that firsthand yesterday in the Busch race. I had a great race car. There was a guy, Mike Bliss, didn't have the balance on his car. He got a little bit loose, and he took a bunch of cars out. You know, most of the time with this race, it's not if the big wreck happens, it's when. A couple of drivers and I were talking before the race, the driver's intro, maybe we should back off after the green flag drops. Let the wreck happen. But my team owner and teammate, Joe Nemechek, said, we got 2 good race cars. Let's try to get to the front and get in front of the wreck. Oh, we just almost made it, too. We were only a couple of cars away.
Just that much.
It's that close.
But you're feeling good. You're ready to go.
I feel good. It's going to be a great race today.
Yes, it is. This Daytona 500 is filled with dramatic happenings and fantastic finishes in its history. We look forward to seeing how this one plays out over the next few hours. The President is among the 200,000 on hand, and the Daytona 500 pre-race ceremony comes up in just moments from now. It's called Nextel's Tribute to America. You'll see it after this on NBC.
Hey, Donkey, what does NASCAR and our movie have in common?
Oh, I know this. They're both whirlwind adventures that take place on the road.
I didn't know you were so smart.
Please. Haven't you ever heard of a smart ass?
Shrek, plus a never-before-seen preview of Shrek 2. NBC tonight, 7/6 Central.
It's the Mighty Mouse of cars. Meet the surprisingly big Chevy Aveo.
And we can roll all day. I got a full tank of and we can roll all day. If I can ride all night.
It's only little on the outside. Meet the surprisingly big Chevy Aveo. The new Chevrolets, an American revolution.
Want to be like Ryan Newman? Just get Alltel Access, the easy way to get the latest games, ringtones, email, and more. It makes your phone more than a phone. Wireless access the way Ryan Newman does it?
You got that right.
Alltel.
This President's Day, follow the path to the proven leader. More people return to Ford than any other make, more than Honda, Toyota, or Chevy. Right now, get up to $2,500 cash back, plus $750 military appreciation cash for up to $3,250 cash back on Ford F-150, Super Duty, or Ranger, or 0% financing for up to 5 years. It's easy to see why more people come full circle to the Ford Oval. Don't miss Ford's President's Day sales event going on now at your neighborhood Ford store.
Ice in Hampton Roads, Monday at 5 and 6 on Wavy News 10.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
NASCAR is coming to IMAX. And it's racing right off the screen in IMAX 3D. Projected on a screen up to 8 stories high with 12,000 watts of digital surround sound that puts you behind the wheel. NASCAR 3D, the IMAX experience, rated PG. Racing into IMAX theaters March 12th.
Daytona International Speedway opened in 1959, filled today with over 200,000 fans for the 46th running of the Daytona 500, the Great American Race. The engines start just 15 minutes from now, but first the 500 pre-race ceremony. We go trackside. It's called Nextel's Tribute to America.
And I had to start again with just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. There ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. An American, where at least I know I'm free. I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
It's our pleasure to welcome the President of the United States, George W. Bush, to the Daytona 500. Welcome, Mr. President.
I am really glad to be here. If you've never been to a Daytona 500, it's hard for me to describe what it's like to be down here with the drivers and to see the huge crowd and to feel the excitement for one of America's great sporting spectacles.
Well, there are 200,000 people here and millions more watching on television.
Yeah.
They took the day off from work, so we'll make this a race-related conversation
Well, I
instead
appreciate
of
that.
a work-related conversation. You've been to some great sporting events, including throwing out the first pitch at the World Series after 9/11. Can you tell us about that experience, sir?
Well, that was one that happened, you know, when the Yankees were helping to lift the spirit of the New York citizens, and I walked out there, and the chants of the crowd were loud, and it was just an exciting moment. It was a historic moment for me personally, because it was after such tragedy. I was a little nervous about getting my fastball over the plate.
Well, you did a great job. You've been to the Salt Lake Olympic Games, to the Army-Navy game. How does this compare?
Well, this is huge. This covers a lot of territory. You know, the track is big, the expanse is big. There's people in the infield. There's people who've been camping out here. This is more than an event. It's a way of life for a lot of people, and you can feel the excitement when you're here. And I'm really looking forward to watching a lot of the race.
Now, in December, you had several drivers to the White House. You allowed them to park their cars on the grass.
I did.
That was very nice of you, sir.
Well, it takes a special person to be allowed to be parking on the grass there at the White House, but it's neat to meet these drivers. They're courageous people. They know no fear, and yet they're in good shape. They're well conditioned in order to stay in these small little cars for as long as they do. And obviously they got great reflexes. And so in meeting them, I was meeting some great athletes.
Now, is there any truth to the rumor that Tony Stewart asked for a presidential pardon after his tough season?
Well, he came in as the champ. He wasn't asking for any pardons. He was asking for a photograph, and I was happy to pose with him because he was the champ. And I saw him. I needled him when I came by because he's got, sometimes you get a reputation when you're in public life. But he's a good, solid citizen, a good fella.
Your motorcade moves pretty fast. Any desire to ride in one of these, sir?
Well, I'd like to, but I'm afraid the agents wouldn't let me. I flew fighters when I was in the Guard, and I like speed. And it would have been fun to drive up on these banks. People don't understand how steep these banks are, though, till you see them in person. And I was with Bill Elliott, who was telling me that he set the course record here at 210 miles an hour. I can't imagine taking a bank at 210 miles an hour.
All 5 branches of the armed services represented here this weekend on the track, and I know that's important to you, sir.
Well, it is, and one of the things about NASCAR and the NASCAR fans is they support our military. We've got a lot of really good young men and women who are sacrificing for our country. And these fans and the people of the France family and the drivers, they stand with our military, and for that I'm grateful. I'm the commander-in-chief of a great group of people, and to know that citizens who support NASCAR support them makes me feel good.
I know you're a sports fan, and I know you had ownership interest in the Texas Rangers.
Right.
The big news is A-Rod going to the Yankees.
Yeah, I was just as surprised as the Yankee fans and the Boston Red Sox fans when I opened up my paper today. It obviously is a big deal, and it looked like the deal's going to happen. At least the sports pages said they were close to concluding the deal. A-Rod's a great player, and the Yanks are going to be a heck of a team with him in the infield.
Mr. President, it's truly an honor. Thank you for attending the Daytona 500. Enjoy your day.
Thrilled to be here.
Good to see you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Back upstairs to Alan.
Okay, Bill, thanks. An already special day, Daytona 500 Day, made all the more so by the presence of the President of the United States. Now it's butterfly time for the drivers. They begin buckling into their machines. The start is coming up.
In 1947, a group of guys wanted to create a sport for the average fan. They failed. The average fan would never show up for a sporting event 5 days before it begins. The average fan would never be brought to tears by just a number. The average fan would never limit his wardrobe to a single color. Thanks for the American sport that's anything but average. Nextel, proud to be fans.
With the unsurpassed horsepower of its 6-liter Power Stroke diesel, Ford Super Duty can pull up to 13,400 pounds. So, exactly how much is that? Well, if you think of it as refrigerators, it would be over 30 of them. How cool is that? Ford Super Duty. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Well, then you will find out. Hey, isn't that your boyfriend, Tom? Yeah, but who's that blonde he's with? That lousy two-timing.
Hello? Yeah, boss. I picked her up at the groomer, just like you asked. Yep, she's looking good, aren't she? What a jerk. Oh, yes. She's a pretty girl. Yes, you are.
Did I just see some tongue?
It's no surprise the Home Depot is NASCAR's home improvement warehouse.
NBC Sports live at Daytona International Speedway, where the Daytona 500 is moments from getting started. We go trackside for the Invocation National Anthem and command to start engines. Well, apparently the president is still walking around shaking some hands, and they're still getting the motorcade organized so we can get the... well, that's why he's busy with some important people.
The military.
And since he's the one that's going to say, gentlemen, start your engines, they want to make sure he's ready to go before they put that into play, huh?
That would be a good idea.
Tell you what, you could just feel the energy in this crowd. Just Bill talked about it earlier, but you could just feel the energy surge when that motorcade came rolling around the track.
How cool is that, BP? President come to see us.
It is a big deal. I've been here for 3 presidents now. Reagan back in '84.
Yep.
His father was here in 1992, and now George W.
Yep. And the president visiting with some members of the armed services before coming out to the head end of the field to conduct his duties to get this race underway. There's the First Lady just behind him.
I don't guess there's anybody there that's got enough nerve to go up and say, come on, Mr. President, you got
Yeah,
the job
exactly.
to do.
He's going to set the agenda here.
Exactly.
Which is perfectly fine. And the drivers, some of them, matter of fact, just before the president walked up to the members of the military, he was speaking with Greg Biffle, whose car is lined up in the first position for the pace laps. And Greg just climbed into his car, so he needs a couple of minutes to get strapped in and get all of his safety equipment hooked together properly before he's ready to roll off and begin this race. Some NASCAR officials there as well. Some of the NASCAR executives now being greeted by Mr. Bush. And now you see the flag ceremony being gathered, the national anthem singers as well. And as the president makes his way toward the center of pit road, we are closing in on the invocation, national anthem, and his command to get the 46th running of the Daytona 500 underway. Some 200,000 ready now for the start of the great American race. Let's head trackside now. They should be about ready to get the final portion of the opening ceremony underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats as color guard representing all 5 branches of the military, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard present today's colors. Now please welcome Reverend Hal Marshman as he delivers our invocation.
Almighty God and Father of all mankind, we thank you for this great world in which we live, and for this great nation, and for those who lead our nation. And we pause to give thanks to your goodness, and bless us all, and help us know that you are our God and we are your children. Shalom and amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and welcome Curb Records recording artist and Grammy winner Leanne Rimes as she sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rattling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Leanne Rimes. Let's hear it for the B-2 stealth bombers out of Whiteman Air Force Base and the 2 F-15s from Seymour Johnson's Air Force Base. Also a thank you to the beautiful Eagles from SeaWorld Orlando. and gentlemen, please welcome NASCAR Nextel Cup Series Championship driver, Mr. Bill Elliott.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the most famous words in racing, the President of the United States.
Thank you, Bill. Laura and I are honored to be here for this fantastic spectacle. We asked God's blessings on the drivers, NASCAR fans, and on our great nation. Now it is my honor to start this race. Gentlemen, start your engines.
10 days of preliminaries, a wonderful pre-race ceremony, and now it's time. It's time for the 46th running of the Daytona 500.
They said someday you'll find all who love are blind. Oh, when heart's on fire, you must realize smoke gets in your eyes.
The Gillette Young Guns. To me, shaving is just like racing. I'll do anything I can to get an advantage, so I use Mach 3 Turbo Champion from Gillette. It's the closest, most comfortable shave, even against the grain. It keeps me ahead of the competition.
What are you doing in my car?
Nothing.
What are you guys doing?
Nothing.
Mach 3 Turbo Champion, the only razor used by the Gillette Young Guns.
Come on, baby, first down.
Earnhardt.
Yeah, coach.
You're in.
Who got eight? Who got
Walkie-talkies get it done. Nextel.
You got that Coke? Sure. Thanks, man. Oh, that's good stuff.
Ain't it?
Let's do this! You the man.
Donnie Allison in car number 88 had the fastest qualifying speed of 150.689 miles per hour and starts his Dyguard Chevy on the pole. 21, David Pearson is alongside. In the second row, it's car 12, Bobby Allison, and 71, Buddy Baker.
NBC's coverage of the Daytona 500 is brought to you by Nextel coast-to-coast walkie-talkies in under a second. NASCAR and Nextel, partners in speed. By Mach 3 Turbo Champion, the only razor used by the Gillette Young Guns. By the new Chevrolets, 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months, an American revolution. And by Coca-Cola, let's make it real.
Field of starters in today's Daytona 500 still sitting along the pit lane, warming the oils and fluids in the cars before they roll off to begin their parade and pace laps and approach the green flag in today's Great American Race.
65!
Budweiser, the official beer of NASCAR, is proud to sponsor the Bud Pole Award given to the fastest qualifier in each NASCAR Nextel Cup race, Greg Biffle. Second-year driver from Vancouver, Washington, earned his first Bud Pole Award, zipping around this 2.5-mile track at an average of over 188 miles an hour. Since 1979, Anheuser-Busch has awarded more than $8 million as title sponsor of NASCAR's Pole Award program. Unfortunately for Biffle, he won't get to keep that pole position because of an engine change in his car. Since Thursday's qualifying races, by rule, he'll have to go to the back of the field. Still, we show you the starting grid for today's Daytona 500 in the order in which they're scheduled to take the green flag. Biffle and Elliott Sadler alongside each other on the front row, but everyone in that inside lane when Biffle drops to the back is going to move up a spot, VP.
Which will put the third-place car, Dale Earnhardt Jr., number 8, on the pole for the Daytona 500. Sterling Marlin will start second.
Tony Stewart's car repaired after a crash. You heard about that earlier. He's going to go from row number 3. And Mark Martin, his 20th try in the Daytona 500. He's not won it yet.
And Jamie McMurray, very fast. And look, last year's winner, Michael Waltrip, inside row 5.
Well, Jeff Burton, Matt Kenseth, the defending series champion, in row number 6. You heard from Bobby Labonte earlier on Countdown to Green, one of Joe Gibbs' 2 entries. He's in row number 7 with Joe Nemechek in the U.S. Army sponsored machine. Ricky Rudd driving for the Wood Brothers. Starts back in row number 8, his 27th 500, most of drivers in today's race.
Rusty Wallace would love to win this 500, has never won.
The 2002 winner Ward Burton in row number 10 with Ryan Newman, hoping not to end up upside down like he did a year ago.
The rookie Johnny Sauter inside row 11, Jeremy Mayfield on the outside.
Ohio's Dave Blaney and Michigan's Johnny Benson. In row number 12, Californian Casey Mears and Wisconsinite Scott Wimmer in row 13. Another rookie driver, Casey Kane, row 14.
Who replaced Bill Elliott this year. Elliott going to run a reduced schedule.
There's John Andretti. Uncle Mario won this race back in the late 1960s, and Robbie Gordon there with him. You look at the rest of the starting field, BP, fire up the old onboard radio over there.
Let's try to talk to Greg Biffle. Hey, Greg, Benny Parsons, you got me?
Parker on my tach, 37 seconds.
He's talking to his crew, talking about what the tachometer is saying. 3,700 RPMs in second gear. That will be pit road speed, 55 miles per hour.
37.6.
Cars do not have speedometers. They have to go by a tachometer. Let's try again. Greg Biffle, Benny Parsons, you got me?
Got you, BP.
Hey, for a week you've been on the penthouse, the 25th floor. In about one lap, you're going to the basement, to the very back of the field. Your thoughts?
I'll tell you what, the National Guard car is really, really fast. This Yates Roush horsepower under the hood. I don't think I'm going to be there very long. I got a really good race car. You know, the Bud Pole trophy's in my motorhome, and they've made the check out to me. So it's unfortunate we got to go to the back, but we think we got a really good race car.
Can you beat Junior?
If I'm in front of him, I can beat him, but I'm not going to be for quite some time. So we'll see. Pit strategy is going to be important. When this car's out front, it's really fast.
Good luck, Greg.
Greg Biffle getting set to pull out of line and drop to the end of the field on this pace lap after the engine change in his number 16 Ford. A couple of drivers trying to qualify for the 500 unable to make the field. Kirk Shelmerdine and Andy Hillenberg had the heartbreak on Thursday. They'll have to watch today instead of being in the Great American Race.
As you can see, not only Biffle goes to the back of the field, Scott Riggs, Ryan Newman, Ricky Craven, Derek Cope, all will move back from their starting position to the rear of the field.
Which may not be a bad place to be. We talked about that earlier. I mean, if, you know, you first couple laps, boy, are very tense. Everybody's feeling their cars out. One nice thing about it is you're driving these cars right now, and all the butterflies are gone. You're ready to go. Those engines are running, so let's go racing.
That bright yellow car is a 2004 Chevy Corvette Coupe, the official pace car of the Daytona 500. Pretty appropriate. Corvette, kind of an American icon, if you will, in performance cars. Wally, I guess your driving lessons paid off.
My student, he looks good.
Ben Affleck. He looks a little calmer than he did the other day when he was riding with you, though. I can understand that. Couple of more parade and pace laps. Want to get in one more commercial break before the start so we can show you as much green flag racing as possible. We're back in a minute.
I'll call you when I get to LA.
I think you forgot something.
This isn't mine.
Could we stop now?
Soon. Be patient.
Hey, how about now? Hey, let's stop now.
No! I want this to be special. You guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
So smooth. Right? Let's do it again.
At Napa Auto Parts, we have great brakes and millions of other quality parts. Napa, get the good stuff.
That thing's loud. How's it work?
It makes the car go faster.
Yeah, but how does it make the car go faster?
Well, let's say you're going a certain speed. With the top speed technology, it's going a ton faster.
You really don't know how it works, do you?
No.
Top speed technology is up to 5 times faster on dial-up, and it's built into AOL 9.0 optimized. Go to AOL.com.
Every coach knows the ability to stay in the game is what counts. So if you want to stay in the game, don't let anything hold you back. Take action to stay in the game. Ask about Levitra.
Ask your doctor if a free sample is right for you. Levitra, stay in the game.
Do what I did. Ask your doctor about Levitra. Levitra works for me. See if it'll work for you.
Think these walls are tough? Check out these walls. The AFL on NBC next Sunday, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific.
What a sight. The Daytona International Speedway, packed with fans, sold out, some 200,000 here. Looking on as the 46th Daytona 500 is 1.5 pace laps away from getting the green flag. Drivers all buckled in, getting their cars ready to go. Let's check down on pit road with the crews. Dave Burns.
And about Sterling Marlin, guys, I talked to Sterling just after he finished up business with the president down here. And Sterling told me that they didn't change a thing on his car since yesterday's final practice session. He's very pleased with this car. He's also pretty happy about where he's starting today. He's starting 4th, and he started 4th when he won his very first of 2 Daytona 500s back in 1994. Matt?
Jeff Burton starts 11th back in July of 2000, Dave. Jeff Burton gave Cardinal Jack Roush his first Daytona Nextel Cup car win. Now he wants to try to give his first Daytona 500 win. But a victory today would go a long way in helping his team. The 99 team only has enough sponsorship through May. So meanwhile, it'd be a great place to get that trophy for the mantle. It would be great for the checkbook to keep that team alive. Marty Snyder?
Matt, here in January testing, Ricky Rudd had a car that was so fast they didn't want to draft with it because they were afraid they would wreck it. Here in Speed Weeks, it's been equally as fast. The one bad thing, not in his favor right now, the weather. Ricky was hoping for cloudy, cool conditions. Instead, today it's hot and sunny. That does not play to their hand. Even though he's tried 26 times and never won this race, Bill, Ricky Rudd said it's a beautiful day for a Daytona 500 win.
Marty, during January testing, I talked to Dale Earnhardt Jr. about just how big this race is, and here's what he told me. There are great drivers that never win the Daytona 500 and great drivers that never win a series championship. He said he doesn't know what would bother a driver more, ending his career without a Daytona 500 win or without winning a series championship. He added he hopes he never has to find out. Alan?
Bill, he's on a lot of people's minds as a heavy favorite to win this Daytona 500 this year. But we know that many, many times the fastest car does not win this race. It's always filled with dramatic twists and turns as we get into those final laps. That is the entrance to pit road, and BP, it can be tricky.
Yeah, new rule. You have, first of all, you have to come in single file, and you've got to be single file by that
Here.
line right there, BP.
Those two pylons, that white line. And here, the car is running about 190 miles per hour, 185, 190 miles per hour. And by here, you've got to be 55 miles per hour.
And it is very, very hard to bring these cars down from 185 miles per hour to 55 in that short distance because the brakes aren't really good on these cars. Plus, you've got to judge the speed. A lot of times, you'll lock the tires up getting down into the pits, which you've got to be very careful of.
And you're in very heavy traffic on pit road. When somebody stops short in front of you, sometimes things go wrong.
Thursday's 125. Casey Kane, the red car. hits the brakes in front of Jeff Gordon. Jeff runs in the back of him, spins him on pit road.
And that can completely take you out of being in the race.
As Jeff damaged the nose of his car to the point that it overheated and knocked him out of contention on Thursday. The first pit stop. Keep an eye out for it. Usually someone makes a mistake and costs themselves a chance to win this race.
And we got a lot of rookies that aren't used to coming down in this pit lane, and that could be a problem.
The problem, you get to 55 miles per hour, your pit stall is on down pit road. You feel like after running 185, you feel like you can walk faster than that. You end up sliding through your pit.
And not only that, BP, but you can't imagine how, or you can imagine, but a lot of people can't imagine how hard it is coming down pit lane. You see all those colors and all those pit boards flying. It's hard to find your pit sometimes. You've got to have your crew chief go 10, 9, 8, count you down to where you're getting close to the pit.
Something to keep an eye on as we get in toward that first set of pit stops when this race gets underway. $16 million in awards on the line, better than $1 million to the winner. And the drivers all looking toward the starter stand as they come off of turn number 4. The honorary starter for the 500, Whoopi Goldberg, has the green flag in hand. In a minute, she's going to set 200,000 voices yelling in the air as these 43 drivers set off on their once-a-year chance to win their sport's biggest prize, the Daytona 500. Pace car is off. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Elliott Sadler bring the field down for the start. The 46th Daytona 500 is green.
Takes about a lap and a half, 2 laps to get these cars fully up to speed.
And Elliott Sadler on the outside in the 38 car would love to beat Junior, get in front of that 8 car, because they're concerned if the 8 car gets in front, he's so fast, a lot of cars will not be able to pass him.
Now this track, don't forget, we've had a lot of rain here, so the track is green. There's not a lot of rubber, so these guys are gonna have to really feel the track out to see where these cars work the best. Yesterday, the Busch race, the high side was really good for some guys, so there's a little bit of feeling around right now to see how your car is gonna react and where it's gonna react the best.
First few laps, always very tense. The traffic close together. One driver makes a mistake. It can cause a big problem for a number. Earnhardt Jr. leads lap 1 by about a foot. Tony Stewart is behind him in the 20, pushing. The outside lane, it's Elliott Sadler in 38, pushed by Sterling Marlin in 40.
And you got to be careful right now. You do not want to be put in the middle. That's why these cars are running really close. You've got to watch in your mirror. You got to put a block on, because if you get put in the middle, you're probably going to go backwards.
But somebody's going to try the middle. They're going to feel like, well, maybe I can use the middle to go forward. Tony Stewart moved up to try to see what would happen if he got out behind the 8 car. Look how the 8 car shot away from him when those 2 cars, the 38 and 20, got side by side.
That's a pretty wide back there.
Inside lane starting to advance a bit. Stewart clears Elliott Sadler for second place. Now it's Jamie McMurray in the 42 up to the inside of Sadler for third.
And he's followed by Michael Waltrip in the 15 car, the winner of last year's Daytona 500.
The good thing about Sadler, he's got a really good drafting partner right now. Sterling Marlin knows how to draft as well as anybody on this racetrack. So if he can keep Sterling there, he may just push him right back to the front.
It is first to 40th, 2.5 seconds, covers the entire field.
Look at that, 194 miles per hour. Larry Foyt was running.
On board Kevin Harvick, running in 10th.
And right now is the best these cars are going to feel, because the tires will start wearing and these cars will start sliding more and more every lap.
McMurray clearing that outside lane of Elliott Sadler. Michael Waltrip pushes through. Now the first 4 are cleared. This is a camera we have inside the helmet of Michael Waltrip. You see the visor cracked just a little bit to keep from fogging up.
And this really gives you an idea of what the driver goes through and how violent that these cars are on this Daytona racetrack.
Checking the mirror to his left. Now looking ahead to the corner ahead of him. And Michael Waltrip running in 4th position.
Just doesn't look like that outside line's got it, Benny.
Not right now, it doesn't, but it might be because the 8 car is just simply so fast.
Yeah.
Jimmie Johnson in 48, racing Elliott Sadler now. That'll be for 5th place. Dale Earnhardt Jr. kind of got a gift for that pole position when Greg Biffle's team had to change the engine, Bill. He's making the most of it right now.
That's how good he is, Alan. He got the pole while it was in a different race. How about that?
Yeah.
Led the field to the green flag. Same car that they ran at the 4 restrictor plate races last year. Was a little tight in the twin 125s. Jr. wasn't really pleased with it yesterday. They worked on it to try and make him happy today. Dave?
Bill, we showed Tony Stewart's last happy hour final practice crash yesterday in the pre-race show today. Tony's team worked on that car a lot yesterday afternoon. I talked with crew chief Greg Zipadelli this morning. I said, well, did you get it to a field dressing state, or is it better than that? And he kind of laughed and said, it's better than that. It's not as perfect as we want it. Marty?
Dave, Michael Waltrip told us on Countdown to Green and reiterated to me before he got in the car, I will work with the 8 car. We will work together. Our #1 goal at DEI this year, work together better than we ever have. It starts today, but on the last lap, it's every man for himself.
Michael Waltrip has won the Daytona 500 in 2 of the last 3 years. He's running in 4th now. Starting to climb that hill back there. Who's that? Matt Kenseth.
Matt Kenseth, the 17 car, the 2003 Cup champion, has moved to the top of the racetrack, and he's finding some good grip up there.
Actually, Ben, he's been up there really since lap 1, so he was the first guy that went way up on that bank. I'm not sure he's going up there because he likes it up there, because maybe his car's tight and it won't turn. Marty, what are they saying about the 17 car?
He's been up in that top groove, Wally, since Thursday. They really haven't run the bottom groove that much, but Matt likes to run up there, especially in the early run. Wally, you can talk about this. He wants to save that right front tire. If you try to keep the car on the bottom and force it down to be on the bottom, it'll wear out that right front quicker.
You're right. It's easier on the right front tire if you're up high. These guys down on the bottom are tugging on the steering wheel. Oh, we got some smart guy in the 6 car.
Trouble, turn #3. And the caution flag is out.
Oh, hang on there, Mark. I don't think Mark could see anything there for a while. He's
Oh, Johnny Benson.
Still can't see, I don't think, out of that car.
Robbie Gordon bouncing off each other.
That car was just completely filled with smoke. Mark did a great job there, trying to keep it as straight as possible.
Mark Martin's 20th try.
I couldn't see nothing. I couldn't see.
You did fine, did great, bud.
And how disappointing is that?
Yeah.
I mean, Mark Martin really felt like he had something today to win the Daytona 500. Dave?
BP, I talked with Mark Martin right before the start of today's race and asked him about whether or not they had conquered the problems they had on Thursday. Mark believed that they had. He said he hadn't had any problems on Friday. Unfortunately, it looks like there's something deeper in their motors.
Martin finds himself.
Yeah, that's deep when he's had that much smoke coming out of the exhaust pipes. Watch the car up there on the high bank. You'll see a little bit of smoke here for a second, and then, boy, it just pours out. Watch everybody dive underneath. And he can't see anything.
Wow.
And I tell you what, looks like he made the 99 and 17, might have made some contact. Teammates of Mark Martin.
Yeah. Kevin Harvick, I'll bet he's got a windshield full of liquid right now.
So he'll be having to make a pit stop probably.
He was right behind Martin when that engine let go. Wow.
Maybe a little bit of contact there with, I don't think it did too much damage to 17, but boy, great job by everybody on that one.
Now pit road is going to be open. I wonder this early in the race, 8 laps into the race, if anybody will come in.
I would say so.
Leaders come by the opening of pit road. First one is Kevin Harvick. He's going to jump in there
and get his windshield cleaned.
Right, from 10th spot. Followed by some of the other cars farther back. You see Matt Kenseth, and the 17 is in. After the contact he had, getting squeezed in that little shuffle up. Dave?
And of course, Kevin Harvick needing to come in and take care of that windshield. No report on exactly how bad it was, but it was going to be obviously covered. They'll work on him, get it cleaned off, and get him back out, change 4 tires at the same time. Bill?
Rusty Wallace still looking for his first win in the Daytona 500. This will be a 4-tire stop in fuel and the first test of how good 4 new tires are going to go up against old ones. Rusty stalled and he's on his way. You can't do that at Daytona.
Oh, tire loose. That's going to cost somebody.
Whoa, no, who's that? Derek Cope ran right over the cone.
And that's a new tire somebody was trying to put on the car. You can tell by the sticker that's still on it as it rolls around there.
And somebody hit one of...
Might be the car that's still sitting there.
Who is that, Skinner?
See the tape and the little white sticker on the left side of that tire. That means it's a brand new, what they call a sticker tire.
That's Skinner. I don't know if they...
So they had to go fish another one out from behind the pit wall and put it on. So caution early in the Daytona 500 after Mark Martin's 20th try to win the race literally went up in smoke. It wasn't a pretty sight for Kevin Harvick, who was running behind Mark Martin when the thing let go. Wow. You're watching NASCAR on NBC.
Drivers ready!
Hey, wait. What are we racing for anyway?
For fun?
How about let's race for a Coke?
Go! Out the road, buddy.
Harvick, come on.
Got some horsepower, Bobby. Come on, DJ, get out of the way.
Going down, Walter.
Sorry, Kyle.
No problem.
I just wrecked in turn 5.
Last lap.
Nice race, guys. Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, we need you in the pits. Oh, dang. Sorry about your little car, Tony.
Why do I pick Enterprise? Because of Maylene, who answers the phone, Alex, who picks me up, and Michelle, who makes renting easy. So all I have to do is drive.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
I'm Jesse James. A car's not just a way to get from point A to point B. It is the point. That's where the pros at AutoZone can help. They've got the stuff you need to make your car as cool as you want. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
You know, Dale, UPS drivers are among the safest drivers in the world.
That's fantastic.
Well, I'm proud to say that in all my years driving a UPS vehicle, I haven't had one single accident.
Good.
Have you ever been in an accident in your UPS vehicle?
Maybe a couple.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll mark that as an area for improvement.
They weren't all my fault.
Not his fault.
It's the President's Day sale at Sears. With great savings throughout the store, Sears is the place to be this holiday weekend. All Levi's jeans are on sale. Find all mechanics tool sets on sale. All TVs and all treadmills are on sale. And for your sweetheart, save $300 on this incredible half-carat diamond heart pendant, now just $99.99. Plus all other fine jewelry is 40 to 60% off. Hurry in for big savings starting this Thursday at the President's Day sale at Sears. Get more of the good life.
A gorgeous day in Daytona Beach, Florida for the 46th running of the Daytona 500. Just underway before a sellout crowd of over 200,000, excuse me. We're under the first caution after Mark Martin lost an engine up in turns 3 and 4. On the ensuing set of pit stops, we showed you the tire that rolled loose. It came from Mike Skinner's car, and now we'll show you why.
Ricky Craven was pitting in front of Skinner, and the right rear tire changer rolls the tire back across the wall. Back over to the wall, there's the tire. Now watch the tire carrier for the 33 car start to come out, trips over that tire, falls, and his tire rolls out on the pit road.
Oh, he took a shot.
He did.
It's a good thing to wear those helmets, huh?
Yes, sir.
Matt Yoakum.
And the crew member that was injured, Alan, is John Wallace. He also pits Ron Hornaday in the NASCAR Busch Series. Just some facial lacerations. The EMTs are looking at his forehead and also his wrist, which he is holding, but it appears like a very, very, very lucky incident here. It could have been much worse. Marty?
Well, Matt, the smile on Mark Martin's face before the race was very wide, not a very big smile. Now, the second engine problem, what happened, Mark?
Well, this is our first one. You know, I don't know. All I know is that I couldn't see. Man, I hate it. I probably messed some guys up out there, but I didn't know. I couldn't see the wall. I couldn't see the track. I couldn't see anything. Thank goodness the spotter, he kept telling me to stay up, but I didn't know what up was. It was just like putting a blindfold on me.
And their day is done, and Wally said right before it blew, it made a pop, 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 pop sound. You probably heard that before, haven't you?
Yeah, that's an ugly sound. And it's even worse when you can't see.
Matt Kenseth has been back on pit road for a second time under this caution flag. You saw the contact between he and Brendan Gaughan as Mark Martin was trying to feel his way around to slow down.
And Mark is listed as the owner of the 17 car.
So we're coming to the restart. Dale Earnhardt Jr. leads. Tony Stewart is second. Jamie McMurray third. Michael Waltrip fourth. Jimmie Johnson fifth. The drivers who pitted are all pretty deep in the field.
Green flag.
The front half of the pack did not stop under that early caution.
Now this is a great chance for these cars behind, trying to get the cars up speed to try to hook up together and go by Junior. But can they?
Well, I think they can, because like you said, BP, they're all in a line. So if Tony Stewart were to pull out and they all would go with Tony, they would pass the 8 car of Dale Earnhardt Jr. But let's see if that's what they want to do.
Just give you a couple quick updates here. No penalty for Mike Skinner's team for that tire getting away. Obviously, it was not an error. There was a pretty significant reason why. And also, the first of the cars that pitted in the restart is Kevin Harvick, and he's 18th in line. Bill?
Yeah, Alan, you guys were just talking about how long these guys will stay in line or what will happen. Well, under caution, there was a conversation between the 20 crew and the 8 crew via their spotters, and here's what it sounded like.
Junior, Tony spotter come down and said, if possible, if you keep it on the bottom more, because when you come up a little bit, he watches the front end and everybody behind him gets a run on you guys.
Oh, okay. I was just giving him a headlight down there if he wanted to clean it, clean left front headlight. But I'll stick right on the bottom end. That's fine. That's better for me.
How fantastic is that Junior said, I'll give him a headlight, put some downforce on that 20 car to help the car turn and help save that right front tire. And that was Stevie Reeves, the spotter.
But there's some guys up on the outside that they don't want to run the bottom.
No, they want to pass these guys.
And you know what? I think they're going to come fast. You got the 18 car up there. You got Greg Biffle. You got some new tires in that outside lane right there. Kevin Harvick.
Yep. It's Bobby Labonte in the green car, the 18, leading that outside lane there.
Was Bobby one of the guys that come in?
No, he did not.
He did not?
No.
And Harvick certainly.
Oh, there's
Biffle. Was that Biffle?
It might have been Biffle that got in the wall.
Yeah, it was BP.
Yeah, just with the right rear, just a tiny bit. It's okay.
Unfortunately,
still coming inside. 3 wide on the bottom.
when you hit the wall like that, even if it's a little bit, you lose a lot of momentum and you lose a lot of positions.
And you also lose a lot of downforce on that right rear. Bill?
And he'd already had overheating problems, Benny. They elected not to bring him in under the caution, but I heard the number 250 while they were under green while he was in the draft.
250 is not going to work here today. Not for long.
Oh, look at that car just go right through the middle. Trying to go through the middle.
Rusty Wallace in the middle. And you're gonna be able to do that. Wow, that was exciting. There in the back. Somebody got loose.
Rusty way back in 23rd position. Let's take another look at what happened to Greg Biffle just a minute ago in that 16 car coming up off turn 2.
See him, he just makes contact right there, left a tire mark on the wall.
And these fenders are so finely tuned. They spend weeks and months getting these fenders tuned in a wind tunnel to be just the perfect shape. And he's just rearranged it.
Yeah, and if turn 2 is the trouble spot on this racetrack for a car to push or not turn. And if you just get the right cars around you and you get in the wrong position, all of a sudden it just feels like you hit ice and you go sliding up the racetrack, and that's exactly what it looked like Biffle had. No grip in the front.
Well, these guys have been pretty good so far, but some of these fellas are getting a little bit antsy, and that's when you have some trouble.
Got 26 cars in this lead pack, then a little separation to the rest of the field.
And this is too right where the point where these guys are going to have to start working with that throttle. This is where you see how your car is handling. If you can keep the gas pedal down all the way around without lifting, you've got a really good handling race car right now. But some of these guys are floating the throttle because their cars are not turning, so they're having to back off the gas. This is where you're going to start thinking about